Members of the company, this is your Places call. Places, please. Places for the top of the podcast. Places, please.
Get ready for a behind-the-scenes look at the glitz and not-so-glam of Broadway, education, and everyday life with Uncommon Sense. Join hosts Christopher Smith and Sharna Lopez as they bring you the best stories and shenanigans that seemingly prove how elusive common sense can really be. So take a little time for yourself to hang out with the dynamic duo Charnopher. And no leaving early, because you might just miss that 11 o'clock number.
Stand by music. Music, go.
Uncommon sense, the 11 o'clock number. And we are Charnopher.
On air. The on-air light is on. Oh my gosh, I forgot my door hanger because I am on location today.
Uh-oh, did someone interrupt you?
No one interrupted me. I don't even think they're here, but I just thought about it. I was like, I forgot my door hanger that said recording in progress.
Turn around, walk away, don't breathe.
Also quietly. Hi, everybody. Guess what today is? You already know because it's the end of the first day. It is the end of the first day of January 1. What? I'm not even saying words now. It is the end of the first day of 2024. That's what I was trying to say.
Wow, that was the longest introduction we've had in a while, getting us to our point.
Yeah.
Happy New Year, everybody. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. Yeah, so
I feel like we should have gotten like those little like
I know.
little
I thought
guys
about
in
it.
party hats.
But also, can you imagine us like blowing those into the microphones and it's like
yeah, maybe it wouldn't be so.
I feel like
we should just sing Auld Lang Syne.
Do,
All
do, do,
acquaintance be forgot, right?
I absolutely would sing it, but here's the thing, and I love this idea, is trying to sing a duet over Zoom.
No, it's a bad idea.
And I realize we don't use Zoom, but also it's the same idea.
It's the same plan. Yeah, it's the same idea. We're not going to sing it. Don't worry. We're just here to wish you a happy New Year today. Thank you, folks. We'll catch you on our next episode. I'm just kidding.
Last time we did the longest episode, and this one's the shortest episode at
we got
1
not even
minute
2
and
minutes.
53 seconds.
No, but in all truthfulness, there's 2 times of the year for me that I feel like are a reset. The one is the new year, but it's a little tricky, and I'll get to that in a minute of why I think it's tricky. And then the second one is Easter and like spring. Like definitely, I feel like that's when I do like spring cleaning, and when I'm like my brain and everything is like in a new beginnings mode at Easter time. New Year's is hard for me for 2 reasons. Because yes, it is the start of a new year, but for us in what we do, it is the middle of a year, right?
Yeah.
So in education, it's the middle of a year. In life with children, it's the middle of their year, right? So it's weird, even though, yes, it is calendarly, that's not a word, a new year, it's not. And so I think for me, sometimes calendarly, sometimes that's tricky. And we should just start making a word bank of new words that Sharna makes up. Calendarly. Diagonalize is another one I use all the time when I'm choreographing.
Diagonalize?
Oh yeah, diagonalize that. Diagonalize it. And they're like, Mrs. Lopez, that is not a word. I'm like, it is now.
Okay, we're going to tangent because what is the purpose of words?
Right? To communicate. So if that works and that gets across what it is, then we got it. Calendly.
You are correct. It is a word now. Carry on.
Okay, perfect. And New Year's happens to fall right in the middle of our vacation. So Jerry and I already sort of talked about this year, like certain things we want to try and put into place in the new year. Well, the new year is going to be January 8th. Because we're on vacation, you know what I mean? And so it's really, I think, hard to have a reset of anything when you're like in vacation mode or in a different mode. And I think that's probably for a lot of people.
100%.
That you're still sort of on vacation mode till the first week of January, at least the middle of the first week of January.
Right. I agree with that. I find it intriguing that you have two resets in the year that are so close to each other.
Yeah.
I find that intriguing.
And I think I only do the New Year's one because it's like what everybody does. I don't know. I don't have a big affinity to like, it's New Year's. I think I love New Year's Eve and I love a party and I love a good like ball drop and, you know, but I find that I have rarely stuck with resolutions. Like I'm not a good resolution keeper. I'm just not. And I think it's there's something about the spring. I don't know. I don't know. I think that's just me personally.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think a lot of people struggle with resolutions for sure. So that's not a you thing.
Well, and we want to talk about that a little bit, right? So here's my thing with New Year's resolutions is like, I'm going to go back to when Jerry and I not first met, but we had been together for a little while and both of us were like complaining at the time that, you know, we need to eat better. We need to work out more. We need to lose weight. I should have been wearing my bathing suit in the grocery store at that point in my life is what I should have been doing. But you know, you're 23 or whatever, 24. Right. And we decided we were going to really take that seriously. It wasn't even a New Year's thing. It was just like a thing. And it's the one time that I've really stuck to something that I wanted to do really, really well. And it worked. It was great. We lost a bunch of weight. It was great. But I remember people being like, that's so hard. And I said, you know, what's funny is it's a lifestyle change. It can't just be like, I'm going to do this. Like it's a New Year's resolution. It's a new thing I want to do. Like, I think it needs to be more of like, if you're actually going to make a change in whatever it may be, if it's your finances, if it's your health, if it's your relationships, if it's your work, if it's time for yourself, whatever it is, like, instead of being like, it's my New Year's resolution, I think it needs to be more of like, I'm going to legitimately make an effort to make a lifestyle change and make that
it's
a
new life resolution, a new life resolution.
Yeah. And I also, anyone who's listening, because clearly a new life.
That's right.
I haven't kept millions. I haven't had that many. I haven't kept several dozen of my New Year's new life resolutions. And that's okay too. I think that's another thing that really bums me out is when people get like upset with themselves. And it's like, you know, all we can do is our best. And sometimes things don't work out or you're not able to do whatever it may be. And that's okay too.
Right. Don't beat yourself up about it.
Yeah.
So you kind of touched on some of them. What do you think like the number one New Year's resolution is?
I think it's to be healthier, just all around, whether it be someone's exercising or they're eating. Yeah.
On whatever this weird list I found is, the top two are exercise more and lose weight, which to me is kind of the same idea. So whatever. But I think that's 100%. The number one thing, which kind of cracks me up, I'm like, why is this the moment in your life that you're choosing to do that? You know? But whatever. Maybe it's just an external like reason. It's like, here's a good reason to try to start now.
Yeah.
This other one on this list that I like, that you sort of already touched on as well, but more for your spring reset, is get organized. Like a lot of people are like, let's get organized in the new year.
That's definitely spring for me. And I think that's a really good one. But I also think that New Year's resolutions, again, I know friends who like fully write them down and like discuss it with their spouse or their partner or whatever. Like for me, it's more like in my own brain. You know, I think there was one year Jerry and I like said them out loud. We're like, what are your New Year's resolutions?
Right.
But I think like one right? If you try, like, I got 6 New Year's resolutions.
Oh,
That's a lot to try and
yeah.
take on. And if your New Year's resolution is to get more organized, cool. How? Right? So like sometimes these ideas of like, I'm going to do this, it's like if there's no plan to follow, that's going to make it really difficult.
So maybe the New Year's resolution should be, I need to make a plan of how to get organized and then follow through on it. Not just be like, hey, I want to get more organized. Woohoo. End of story.
Well, and that's one of the biggest things with eating healthier. Ask any person. Like, I just had a pretty close friend lose a bunch of weight, definitely by, restricting her diet and choosing certain foods over others. And that just comes in with planning. If you don't plan for that, or if you don't plan in a specific time to exercise, that's the biggest part for me with exercising. If it's not planned in, you best believe the 900 other things in my life are going to take over and take priority. And it's all about what you make the priority, And I think putting the plan in place, to be more organized.
So
that's
really
so
what
interesting.
We're saying, but I've heard that.
Yeah.
So I think the overall is really just the New Year's resolution should be to figure out what you want to accomplish and then set out goals of how to accomplish it.
Yeah.
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 I love this one. It's like, what does this even mean? I know it means different things to different people, but it would kind of fall under the like, what is live life to the fullest? Like, what does that mean?
Wait, what?
I mean, I know what they mean by it, but it's such a platitude that like, how is that a resolution?
That's so interesting because again, it's super generic.
Yeah.
And that could be something different for every person, right?
Right.
But again, if I could give one to a lot of people, it would be to like try to, I want to say this correctly so I don't misspeak. Focus or transfer your focus to the positive things. I think we as a society, and I see it a lot with young people, I see it with people our age we work with, like the moment of focusing on the negative, I think has come out so much more than the positive or what we should be grateful for, right? It doesn't mean that we can't have the moments of like, that's annoying. I'm frustrated with this. Why is this happening to me? But I think living life to the fullest, that brings me to that idea of like, you're going to get back what you give, right? And if you're giving negativity and whatnot, that's what you're going to get back. Or maybe did they mean live life to the fullest, like buy the shoes, eat the cake, go on the vacation? Like, is that what it means?
That's why I'm like, that's a stupid resolution.
Yeah.
But it's okay. It can mean whatever it means. I just think it needs to be more specific. It's horrific when you're not specific.
You're like, next.
Save more money / spend less money.
Yeah. I don't know anybody in our realm of life that would not think that that is something they should do.
Right. But then where does that fit in with live life to the fullest, right?
Right.
So
so this is actually a really good conversation topic, even non-related to New Year's, right? So you and I know you can't take things with you when you go, right?
Correct.
Things don't go with you. And I am a huge believer of experiences and living life to the fullest. But it's a hard balance, right? Of well, we want to save money or we want to have this, but then I also want to experience this now. And another thing that I again, as we approach, 40-12 this year,
30-12.
30-12.
I was like, oh Lord, now I'm 52. What just happened? Time warp.
My math's off.
Let's do the time warp again.
There's certain things like we're not old, but like I see old people and I'm just like, they never got to do that.
Yeah.
Or they can't do that anymore. Right? Like, I don't want to sit around. What's that saying of like, oh, what is it? It's from Guys and Dolls. When it talks about if you save up enough yesterdays or tomorrows, you're going to find yourself with a lot of yesterdays. What is that line from Guys and Dolls? It's a great line.
I don't know.
Oh, no, maybe it's from Music Man. I'm going to look it up. But it talks about like, if you keep talking about, I'll do tomorrow, you're just going to end up with a lot of empty yesterdays.
But also, some people say, don't wait, procrastinate now.
we just had some technical difficulties, and that makes me laugh.
Yeah.
Don't wait, procrastinate now.
Yeah. I actually got that from an Ellen DeGeneres stand-up routine.
That makes my brain hurt. I'm trying to like decipher it.
It's because it's like everybody likes to procrastinate, and she does this whole thing about maybe procrastination is not the worst thing in the world. And so her thing is like, don't wait, procrastinate now.
I love it. And it's true. It's like you can't, I don't know. It's just the balance of life. Live life to the fullest.
Yeah.
Guys, that's the moral of our podcast.
Yeah, there it is. There you go.
What else is on that list?
Well, number 7 on this list doesn't really apply to too many people in California, my guess is at this point, but around the world, it might more so. For international listeners, some people might choose to try to quit smoking at this point in their life, you know?
Wow.
Yeah.
I was just thinking about that the other day, how when I was younger, you know, I remember going into restaurants and I would always want to go tell the hostess, like, party of 5, no smoking, non-smoking.
Yep.
You know? And to think that like that has never existed with our children. I don't even think that they probably only seen people smoke cigarettes on TV, you know?
Yeah. A lot of times that's true.
It's crazy.
Yeah, it is interesting. But I remember that too. This next
quit smoking.
Yeah. This next one kind of falls under live life to the fullest for me, but it's just spend more time with family and friends. And again, it's that balance.
Yeah.
What do you want to get out of your life?
Yeah. I think I talk a lot about this with friends. I have a couple, former colleagues that you know as well that always, they commend me on that. Like they think that I am a good example of it. And I think I have a decent balance. I still think I would like to spend more downtime with my family.
Yeah.
But I'm not good at downtime. I'm really bad at downtime. Like people want to just sit and do nothing. And I'm like, can we do something? Can we do something? Like I'm a busybody.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like getting me to just sit and watch a whole movie on the couch is a feat already. But like my family could probably just sit on the couch all day long. And I'm like, I can't. I have to do something.
This is why you and Joy are the same person. She's like, she literally cannot sit for a whole movie. Like it is a struggle. She doesn't like to watch movies for that exact reason, I think.
That's so funny. I can do a movie, but I think, and it depends on the time of day and it depends on what is happening in the house.
Yeah.
Like last night we all sat and watched that Christmas movie and it was so fun and it's great, but I'm not a sit around. And I think that sometimes though is important to have time with people where it's not scheduled.
Yeah.
Right. Like I spend a lot of time with my family, but just like, you know, sitting and hanging
and enjoy
is probably important. Mm-hmm.
And the last couple are travel more and read more. And I guess that just depends. I'm like, it depends who you are.
So reading more is an interesting one to me. Travel more, I feel like, unless you're some of the very few, I was going to say weirdos. That's not kind.
No, because Joy is one of those.
Does she not want to travel?
It's stress. Here's the thing. Well, it's because it's the prep. It's the whole getting ready to travel is so much like thought process for her, I think, that she just doesn't love traveling.
That's so interesting. But if once she does the prep and she's doing it, then is she
okay? Enjoys it, yeah. But I think it doesn't outweigh overall for her.
I think too that comes with experience, right? So I have a couple friends who travel a lot. And once you've gotten it down and you know what I mean? Like for me, it's seeing new places. I am always just like, I follow a couple social media people that are travelers, world travelers.
Yeah.
And I'm like, this is here in our world and I haven't seen it or experienced it or different cultures or different places. Like I find it so intriguing and just so amazing and beautiful. And there are people that don't like to travel, but I think most people would say usually it's financially or being able to find the time.
Yep.
Right. Yeah. And then so the read more though, this is interesting to me. My husband likes to read. He's like a non-fiction reader. He likes to read.
That tracks.
I like reading. I like reading fiction though. I'm not
Yeah.
a big nonfiction reader. I'll read fiction, but I feel like with the invention of podcasts and vlogs and blogs and audio this and everything, like reading,
Mhm.
like I wonder if this list actually means like physically reading a book with
I
your
think it
eyes, or if
does.
it means like taking in information. Oh, you think
No,
so?
I think it does physically mean, because I know people where it's like we're such in a technological screen world. Like, I don't even know if they necessarily mean like reading on an iPad. I think they mean like a physical book.
A book.
Yeah,
Yeah.
possibly.
It makes me sleepy.
Me too.
So like
I think we've talked about this.
I love reading, but I unless I'm on an airplane or by a pool. Like the last time I read a whole book on our last pool vacation, because I can just sit there and read the book, you know?
Right.
And I don't, if I fall asleep on my lounge chair, awesome. But like reading at home, I'm just like, if I'm on the couch or the bed, I'm like sleeping.
Right.
Yeah, it makes me tired.
I'm not an avid reader. Joy used to read all the time, like all the time. And she
Really?
was such a fast reader. She could read like a book in a day. I was like, I'm sorry, what?
Whoa.
Oh yeah. Even a few hours. So there were times where I was like, well, why
I
don't you
wonder
just
if
watch
she
the
wants
movie?
to read more.
We've talked about that a little bit. I think the answer is somewhere in the middle. It's not quite a yes. I don't think she'd mind reading more, but I think just with how everything is in life, I think we enjoy just being able to like watch a TV show or part of a movie, because it's hard for us to make it through a whole movie. Although we did last night. We watched a Christmas movie last night.
Oh.
Granted, she was up in the kitchen doing something for some of it because, you know, it's Joy. And she'd seen it. So it's okay. But, oh yeah, do you like watching, we should have talked about this in the last episode. Do you like watching Hallmark movies? Like the Hallmark Christmas movies?
You know what's funny? I would love watching Hallmark movies. I don't think it would be a family choice of my family's, so I would love to watch it. But I haven't seen one in a while. I don't think it's like a top choice of the Lopez's.
There we go. Just curious. So yeah.
But yeah, they're kind of sappy and cute.
Yeah. Most of them are. Joy really likes the like the prince ones. The like, you know, the kingdoms and made up places in Europe, and you have you don't know about these? There's so many like that. It's like there's this random king, kind of like the Princess Diaries, you know.
Okay.
That type of thing. It's kind of, I think after the Princess Diaries, there started being a lot of that type of style of movies.
Hallmark Christmas King and Queen movies?
Yeah. And it's usually someone from the outside, usually from the US, going there for some reason, like being a photographer or saving Christmas or doing this or doing that, you know, like, so.
Yes.
Yeah.
As they do in Hallmark movies.
As one does. Saves Christmas. Happy New Year. So Christmas is saved. So yeah, I don't know. I think reading, all that to say, I am not an avid reader, and I never have been, mainly because I don't read that fast. And I'm like, I'm always a person. I mean, I've probably been an instant gratification person since the time I was born. I'm just very impatient, and I'm like, I just want to learn. I don't enjoy learning, if I haven't said that before. I enjoy knowing. Yeah. I don't necessarily like.
But I
the
think that's where you
learning.
and I are the same person, and where my two kids do not fall far
from that
like
tree.
If it's when I told that story about when I couldn't play piano and I kicked the piano, and it's like I look at my own kids and it's the same thing. Like if they can't do something right away, they're super frustrated.
Yeah,
because they just want to know how to do it.
Right.
Yeah.
And
it's the impatient.
And I see the value of the process, and I preach about the value of the process, but it doesn't make me want to do it anymore.
Yeah. And I think it's so interesting because that is definitely a personality thing, because there are some people like my husband who are the opposite. Jerry, I think, loves the learning part of it and the process part of it. But that's what makes our world so amazing.
So maybe that should be a New Year's resolution for me.
Ooh, enjoy the process.
Enjoy the process more.
Whoa.
I actually kind of like that.
That's a good one.
I kind of like that.
I think for me, it's like I hadn't even thought really yet this year about one specifically. And I'm not going to go with the eat healthier and exercise more, because that's just a constant in my life.
Right.
Like okay, this week we're going to start back again on this or whatever. And then
Right.
we fall off the wagon and come back on. It's fine. I like the idea. Yes, exactly. Of being in the moment more. My brain is 700 steps ahead of most people's. And that's just a me thing.
Right.
And I think I really would like to work with an intention and effort of really trying to be in the moment.
Yeah. It's so funny you say that because I was just thinking about that on my drive over here. I feel like last year I did a really great job of that throughout the Christmas season and into the new year. And this year I've not done as good a job. There's just too many other things on my mind and I keep trying, but I haven't made it. I think I haven't made a quite conscious enough effort to just really be like, this is what we're doing right now. And everything else, I'm not fixing it right now. So stop thinking about it.
Yeah. and that's a hard, that's why I suck at yoga. It's the same thing where it's like, just, I gotta train my brain or remind my brain, like, this is what is important right now.
Right.
So the other 9 things that you're trying to like get done, it's not going to happen right now. So just stop thinking about it.
And that's the thing is I'm like, if I'm
Yeah.
literally not going to send that email right this second, then forget it. Like you'll get to it when you get to it or you won't. But right now you thinking about it isn't solving the problem.
And one of the things that I have done a lot recently, and I'm probably going to do more in this new year, is the reason I think I keep thinking about it is because I don't want to forget.
Yeah.
That is something I have to do. I've gotten real good at like
Write it down.
making notes. Yep. Or reminders in my phone, which
Yep.
is one of the saving graces about having that device.
Mm-hmm.
And if I set that reminder, then I feel like I can put it to bed because I know then it'll come back around and I can remember to do it then.
Right.
That's definitely
That's true.
a good one for sure.
Yeah. Get better at that. Oh man. Those are our New Year's. We welcome everybody. You heard our New Year's resolutions live because we just figured some
That's
of ours
awesome,
out.
right? And now it's out there for all to hear.
Right.
Woo woo.
And then we come back
We're going to work on
a
that.
few months from now and maybe somebody sends
We'll
us
check in.
Yeah, we'll do a check-in.
We'll do a check-in.
Maybe it's
on our
at your other
resolutions.
your reset time, maybe around.
Ooh, yeah.
Yeah.
Easter's in March this year, right? Damn,
Is it?
that's
Gosh,
crazy.
it's early then.
I think so. Yeah, it is early. I think. I could be wrong.
I don't know. I don't have a calendar in front of me, nor do I need a calendar. Oh gosh.
Right.
Well, Sharna, do you have anything else to say about New Year's or New Year's resolutions?
No,
Oh, we didn't
just
talk about
Happy New Year.
parties. We didn't talk about parties.
Oh.
We got to talk
New Year's
about parties.
Here, I will say, when I was younger, like little kid, we just like, we tried to stay up. Maybe once or twice we stayed up. It was never like a big, like we used to, my mom, I remember she would let us go out in the streets and hit pots and pans.
What?
Did you guys
I
ever
don't
do that when you
know
were
about this.
Oh yeah. So we would stay up and that the new year you go out and you're like, dang, 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 Happy New Year. Like we used to do that, which was really fun. Then in college, I went to a couple really fun, like we did a New Year's down in San Diego one time and a couple parties. But my really good friend Molly, her family used to throw an amazing New Year's Eve party. Like I'm talking like a wedding. This thing was insane. Everyone would get dressed up fancy, catered, dance floor, whole deal. And that's the night that I went into labor with Sebastian.
Oh yeah.
Was after that New Year's party where I was like dancing up a storm on the dance floor, 9 months pregnant. Those are some really fun memories. Like there were a handful of those for years there that we would go to. And then our kids like to try and stay up, but we also will do the 9 o'clock ball drop, like the New York ball drop with the kids. So they can like, if they don't want to stay up super late.
Right.
But yeah, we haven't done in the last couple of years anything big. My friend Molly's had a party at her house that we've gone to, but I like to have a glass of champagne at midnight and a New Year's kiss, and that's it.
There you
How
go.
about you guys?
Yeah, well, used to be out. I guess it started more when I was out of college. I used to throw like it wasn't like a big shindig, but it was a little New Year's party where I'd invite people to come over and we'd have appetizers and snacks and listen to music and talk and play games and watch the ball drop and drink champagne, etc. So yeah,
it's fun. I do think it's like a unifying holiday.
Yeah,
like everyone's celebrating the new. You know what I mean? It is fun.
Now, would you ever
to have that feeling?
Do the Times Square ball drop? Like, would you ever go to New York and do that?
No, I have zero desire to do that. Never in my whole, especially once I had been to New York. I was like, I watched that on TV and I'm like, that looks like my worst nightmare.
Right.
Absolutely not.
The speed in which you answered that question was unreal.
Yeah. And it's funny because I love me a party.
Right.
I'd rather go to like Mardi Gras or, you know, what's the one in Rio? Like those big, like celebrations. But it's something about New York where you're like stuck like that. It doesn't seem exciting to me. I mean, I guess it's also similar, like to some of these festivals, like concert festivals and stuff. I'm going to be stuck in a spot. Like I'm too old for that. Maybe when I was in college,
right.
But I have never, ever looked at that and been like, oh, I wish I was there. No.
I think I used to want to. It's hard for me to remember because I'm also on your page now. I'm like, no, thank you. I don't feel like being a sardine in a literal icebox. Okay.
Yeah.
It's a hard pass for me.
And it's like the Thanksgiving Day parade too. No desire.
Okay. That one, I don't know. I could do that one because at least you're watching a parade and then you're not, I know you're like sitting in one spot, but at least it's not like crammed into Times Square. But what would be fun, I think, is to somehow get a hotel in Times Square that overlooks Times Square and then do New Year's that way. Like have a party in the hotel room.
I wonder how much those are though.
Thousands and thousands of dollars a night, I'm sure.
Yeah. That's so cool. That would be cool. I'd be down to do that.
Yeah.
Or like if they're, now I know it's New York and winter, but like a rooftop, some sort of something like overlooking Times that I could do like a private event.
Yeah.
I don't need to.
No. So if anybody is listening from New York and has, say, access to that, we would love to partake.
Wait, invite us, please.
Invite us.
I think that's it. Happy New Year.
Yeah.
To all of our Charno fans.
Good luck with any New Year's resolutions that you make. And
we'll circle back and see how ours are going.
Yeah, we'll share that information. Why not? All right. Thanks for listening, everyone. Like and subscribe on YouTube. Follow us on Instagram at Charnopher Official. Subscribe and follow on whatever podcast platform you use. And if you have any other questions about us, go over to uncommonpod.com. Maybe even get some merch for this new year. And on that note, Charnopher.
Happy New Year. Charnopher out.
I gotta go. Let's try it one more time. All right. 1, 2, 3.
Happy New Year. Charnopher out. We got it.
Great.
Had to end on a good
one.
We
got it. Absolutely. It's a must-have.
Love it.
This concludes another episode of Uncommon Sense. If you're ready for more of this fresh, hilarious, and unique perspective on the world of entertainment, education, and life, be sure to subscribe right now to catch every episode. If you gasped, laughed out loud, or even snorted, share the show with your friends and aspiring entertainers because, let's be real, sharing is caring. For more Charnopher, tune in to their witty insights by checking out the website uncommonpod.com or connecting on social media. Tune in next week and get the real insider scoop on another episode of Uncommon Sense.